Hello, my name is Gigi Sohn. I'm the Executive Director of the American Association for Public Broadband, and I'm going to be the keynote speaker for C-band Spring Summit on April 9th at 2 p.m. Central Time. And I hope you'll join me either live or virtually. Let me talk a little bit about what the American Association of Public Broadband is. I'll call it AAPB, and what I'm going to talk about. So AAPB is an organization, it's a trade organization that represents networks that are owned by communities. So communities that have decided that the broadband service that they get from incumbents is not up to snuff, or maybe the incumbents don't even want to serve them. So they decide to own their own network. Sometimes they build their own network, sometimes they contract that out, but the whole point is they own the infrastructure, and their motivation is not to maximize return on investment, but it's to serve everybody with affordable, robust broadband. And it's a really exciting time to be thinking about building a public broadband network for your community, because number one, the federal government's giving out a lot of money. They're giving it to the states first, who are giving it a lot of money to build broadband, to deploy broadband all over the country. And also, it's a business model whose time has come. The Institute for Local Self-Reliance just talked about how last year was one of the most fruitful years for local communities building their own broadband. So that's the good news. And I think there's something like 450 communities that have built their own broadband networks, plus on top of that, 200 cooperatives, which are entities, nonprofit entities that are owned by local community members. I consider that public broadband as well, very important parts of public broadband. So what I'm going to talk about is not only how public broadband is flourishing across America, but also, because it's flourishing, the big cable and telecom companies are pushing back to try to delay or stop these builds, but not in their own name, through surrogate organizations with very anodyne names like the Domestic Policy Caucus or the Utah Taxpayers Association. But again, these are funded by the largest cable and telecom companies, trying to stop or delay, make them more costly, these public broadband bills. And they fail every time when you shine the light. So I'm looking forward to talking about not only what's going on in the field, but also if your community is thinking about building a broadband network, how you can get the community support necessary to stop these kind of attacks, because they're pretty much inevitable. I hate to say it, but everywhere where there's been a lot of success, these dark money groups pop up and try to throw sand in the gears. So I hope you join us again, April 9th, 2 p.m., the C-band Spring Summit. I look forward to meeting folks and talking with you and promoting public broadband. Thank you.